I'm live. I'm not sure. This will be probably maybe only the second or third time I went live in my life. So, am I live? I don't know. Oh, yeah, I am live. I didn't see. Okay. So, 2021. It's been a rough one for many of us. Prayers going out to all of the people who are just really going through something and trying to make it through. I promise you. It hasn't been all sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns for a lot of people. And my heart goes out to all of you who are in the midst of the struggle, you know. I tend not to do the whole New Year's resolution thing because I think that at least for me, it lacks accountability. I'm typically probably breaking those New Year's resolutions the next day. So I tend to try to make promises to myself, things that I can kind of focus on. But normally at the end of the year, I try to be as reflective as possible, right? And this morning during meditation, I came up with the 10 lessons that I've learned. I learned more than 10, but these were 10 pretty prominent lessons. And I wrote about them. I did do a blog on my website, so I'll share that with you. But I wanted to just really talk a little bit about those 10 things. And maybe there are some of my 10 that are part of your 10 too. So the first thing that 2021 being its master teacher self has taught me this year is that rest is required, right? I think for us who do a lot of things and are hustling, bustling, and moving very fast. Some of us feeling like we have to make up for lost time. A lot of us are feeling like there is no time and we're not resting. And I am guilty of that, certainly. Rest is required. And rest does not mean low productivity. I think that I carry a lot of guilt around just being still and feeling like that if I'm not doing something or if I'm not somewhere or being somewhere that I'm not being productive. And so what I've really tried to do this year is be super intentional about building rest into every project and into every process of my life and being unapologetic about needing to take rest or take a break. And that's been hard. I have certainly continued to ask for forgiveness in meetings or forgiveness on projects like, oh, I'm just tired, I'm just overwhelmed. But I shouldn't have to apologize for needing to take a break because a well-rested me is my best me. And so just trying to be very, again, intentional about how I am incorporating rest as a requirement. And it's not a reward either. I think a lot of us work real hard, real fast, and then at the end of it, we're like, I did so much, and now I can rest, because rest is the reward. No, rest is the requirement. So I am really trying to activate a different type of framework for that. The next lesson that I learned is that I am extremely behind in technology. There was a point in my life where I was ahead of the curve, right? Like, I'm a technologist myself. I work in tech. I do a lot of tech projects, and I was ahead of the curve. Now I am behind the curve. There is so much going on in the technology space that I am not aware of, that I am intimidated about. TikTok, I don't know about the TikTok. I don't know what to do on the TikTok. I just, like maybe 3 years ago, mastered what I thought was mastery of Instagram. And then things changed. They added stories, they added reels. I don't know how to use any of those things. Again, this is only my second live. So I am behind in the technology space. So I am trying to catch up. So I'm going to be doing a lot of YouTube University in the coming months so that I can catch up, because I know that in order for me to excel, I am going to have to be on top of my technological game. Shout out to all the people that's watching. I don't know how to like interact with y'all or anything like that, because this is only my second live, so I'm trying to pull it together and figure out what I'm doing. I think I saw my little cuz James jump into the room, and I think I saw Antoine jump into the room. Peace and blessings, y'all. I hope everyone is doing okay today and your families are well. The next thing I want to talk about is, and it's a lesson, and it wasn't really a lesson for me because I'm not really a jealous or envious type of person. I really believe that all of us can eat. I really believe that there's enough money, there's enough territory, there's enough opportunity, there's enough prosperity, there's enough abundance that everybody can eat. And I think that there are people in my life or on the outskirts of my life, potentially, that have expressed some jealous and envious traits. And I just want to assure people that if there's something that I'm doing that you want to know more about, I am very approachable. Just ask. If there is an opportunity that I'm involved in that you would like to be involved in too, like, get at me. Like, allow me to open my life to you. There's no reason for anyone to be jealous or envious. There are people that I know who think that I'm not a good poet, think that I'm not a good person, and all these other kind of interesting things that I've heard throughout my time. And it ain't gotta be that way. Like, straight up and down. There is room for us all. I hear you, sis Paris. There is room for everybody. If you want to be a better this, you want to be a better that, get with the person that you that has that kind of skill set. Like, we don't have to backbite and compete so much against each other. I think that a competitive spirit is a divisive spirit at times, and it keeps us from prosperity. It really keeps us from thriving, because we feel like we got to be looking at each other and comparing each other. Like, come on. Equally on the other end of that, if y'all see me out of step, if y'all see me not being my best self, come on, pull my coattail. I don't have no ego in this. Hit me in that inbox. Be like, sis, that post is not you. Sis, that poem was not you. Sis, that opportunity felt a little not like you. Like, let's hold each other accountable. Let's be better in that way too. This next lesson is about wealth generation. I've been talking about wealth generation probably for about 5 years now, but it really hit home for me this year in 2021 about how much wealth we have as Black people, but because we only classify wealth in terms of dollars, that we carry ourselves wealth poor. And we have to learn a new way. We have to have a better relationship with money. We have to be honest about our lack of knowledge in the financial spaces. We have to also figure out a way to be more honest with each other, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to build. And that's honesty in relationships between husbands and wives, or those who are habitating and life partners, those who are in business with each other. Like, we have to have just a better relationship with money. And in order for us to build wealth generationally, it's got to start at that foundation. We have to figure out what it is that we feel about our money, what it is we do with our money, how can we improve in that way, and then start on this journey of wealth generation for our immediate families and for our generations to come. Like, we have the power to do so. I have personally witnessed our spending power, our buying power. We just don't have it organized in such a way that it's sustainable. Like, there's the ebb and flow of financial prosperity, and those who are wealthy, there really isn't a lot of ebb and flow. There's a nice status that they have, and I want that for Black people all day, every day. I want that. What up, Fab? I see you out there. This next lesson is an interesting one for me, and it's a two-sided lesson. No, the answer no is actually a response. And I need people to respect my boundaries. If I say no, there's probably a good reason why I'm saying no. Now, you have every right to inquire why it is a no, but that doesn't mean that because you asked me about why I said no, that's going to turn it into a yes, right? But no response is also a response. And that's the lesson for me, that I have to respect people's boundaries. That just because I reach out to you and want to work with you, or want to, add some resource to a value potentially to your work or your situation, if you're not responding to a good sis, that's fine. And I got to respect that. So it's a two-way sword. No is a response. Respect my boundaries. No response is also a response. Respect their boundaries. It's good stuff. I'm telling you, 2021 was a master teacher. 2021 was a master teacher. Now, this next lesson is about the journey. And a lot of us are on a wonderful journey. You cannot bring everyone with you on your journey. That constant doubling back for people is slowing you down, and it's really taking you off of your course, right? I think a lot of times we feel like we gotta have good company, we need to have our people with us and all the rest of that. Sometimes your people ain't the right mix of people for your particular journey. When I get to the end of this conversation, that will kind of circle back. I think that we need to be focused and be open to others who are traveling with us on our journey. Sometimes we summarily reject new people because Drake said, no new friends. And sometimes you be needing you some new friends, sis or bruh, to get you where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel bad that you're moving forward in your space and that everybody isn't coming with you. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be in your life. They're just not going to be with you on this particular pathway. And I think that that's okay. And we have to rid ourselves of the guilt. Everybody ain't ready to go, and everybody ain't meant to be there. And I think it's okay for that to be something that you feel strongly about. This next lesson is really my lesson. Like, this one was like bumping me upside the head. Yadane always say, you got the pumpkin head. I got the pumpkin head on this one. And my t-shirt is part of that journey. No more hiding. This live is part of that journey. No more hiding. No more hiding. I hide for a variety of reasons. One, because I'm pretty introverted. Interestingly enough, people always be like, no, you can't be. We've seen you perform. We've seen you speak and do all these things. Y'all don't even understand that it takes so much to pull all of that together and get here in front of the people, right? I would much rather play the back and be in the background. And I know that my journey, my life, my greatest destination, my dream, my purpose, my destiny, none of those things are going to happen until I stop hiding. It's just not. It's like God has shown me some previews of how it could be. And I've accepted those previews as the full movie. And that can't be. That cannot be. I have to walk my path, my journey. I gotta live my truth out fully in order for me to be my best self. And so I'm deciding for 2022 not to hide anymore. Now, does that mean I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of lives? I don't know. Because, child, I don't know what I'm doing now. Does that mean I'm going to be doing much more putting myself forward? We'll see. But I'm done hiding. I am going to show up as my full self. And those who don't like it, you'll be all right. And I think that that's important. I think people need to have some permission for that. This next one is a great lesson too. It's a hard lesson, right? I am a great stepmother. I own that. I've done some really tough work with some kids that didn't come up out of me, y'all. And there are 3 humans walking around this earth right now who I poured my full self into. And I hope that that's reflected in their adulthood journey. And they're doing really, really good. So I'm proud of that. And I'm currently a step-parent. And I'm doing my best to pour into that one too. And I am hopeful that when he is older and into his adult journey, that there are things that I have done, the love that I have shown him, that he can take with him in his life and that he finds to be helpful. So I am proud of being a stepmom, and I don't say that enough. I think I kind of cower in my step-parenting for a number of reasons. But 2022, I'm going to be a proud step-parent and make sure that the world knows that. This next lesson is a good lesson. It's a sweet lesson. I've been in love before. I've loved people. People have loved me. I think that because of my ability or my desire to maintain control and keep my emotional status protected, that I was really kind of like a surface lover, right? And this is not just romantic. I'm talking about familial. I'm talking about my personal, relationships with my good girlfriends. But loving someone below the surface, like at their very core, is like the best job in the world. And getting that back from someone is such a gift. And so I just really endeavor to love well. I've always loved well, but I really want to love below the surface. Like, I don't want it to be flighty. And just because my name is Kai Love doesn't, mean that it has to be like, all of the fanfare with love. Like, I really just want to get to like the core of the person and like the human in me, seeing the human in you, and we just being like, have a love fest, because we need each other. People, we need each other, and we need to be the gift to each other, and we need to do the job of being with each other. So that was a good lesson for me to love, to learn around love, is that when you love below the surface, it's so much more satisfying, so much more rewarding. And then my last lesson, we've ran through those 10 pretty quickly. The last lesson is around expanding your territory. I think that, especially us as Black people, we tend to hold ourselves close to the vest, close to the chest, close to the block, close to the social circle. We are very afraid, and for a lot of good reasons, to be a little bit more exploratory. It ain't safe out there for us Black folks at times. So I know that because I expanded my territory, which first started here, and then this had to follow. I had to think about it. It couldn't have been the other way around. So I thought about it and then used, all of my good heart source to push some of that expansion forward. Your best life may not be on your block. It may not be in your current social circle. It may not be at your current job. It may not even be with your current romantic partner, not with your family. It may not be there. Your best life may be outside of everything that you totally love and endeavor to keep safe and treasure. So I encourage you to expand your territory. My greatest victories this year all came because I moved outside of the things that I felt and found to be comfortable. And maybe this live is going to touch somebody and help them along their journey. And that's what all of this sharing is about. So I just wanted to get on here to say Happy New Year. Peace and prosperity to your family and your friends and everyone that's in your world. I wish nothing but goodness to you and good health, and stay safe. Happy New Year.